What's going on, guys? FlameHorizon here, coming at you with USL Season 4, Week 2 and 4. I'm going to preface this now. My Week 3 match was given to me with an auto forfeit from my opponent due to scheduling conflicts. So Week 2 will be first, then Week 4. So we'll get right into things. For Week 2, I'm fighting against Chosen and the Los Angeles Mimikyus. The team that he brought this week is Hoopa Unbound, Noctowl, which the sprites just won't load for some reason. Araquanid, Nihilego, Electros, and Alolan Ninetales. I decided to bring Yanmega, Gothitelle, Landorus, Kecleon, Shaman, and Manectric. When I looked at his team, I'm like, with the right moveset, Yanmega kind of destroys him. And I did a live recording of this, but I didn't really like it, so I'm just doing a post-commentating now. So we'll get right into things. I lead off with Kecleon. He sets up Toxic Spikes. I set up my rocks. So now I'm a rock type. Gotta love protein. He goes for Grass Knot, which is like and I go for the knockoff and does 80%. So this thing just took a whole lot of damage. He goes out into Hoopa, and I decide to go for the Shadow Sneak, which does a decent amount, but now I'm a ghost type, so that thing can destroy me. I go out into Landorus. He goes for the Hyperspace Fury, does not do enough. I go for the U-turn, and he stays in, so I don't think he thought I was Scarfed there, because I would not have stayed in against a Landorus, especially if, like, you know it's carrying U-turn. But I go back out into Kecleon. Sure, I get poisoned. I don't have a hazard removal this week, so he goes out into that and lets it die to a Shadow Sneak this time. So right now it is 6-4. He goes out into Noctowl. I'm censoring all these nicknames, by the way, if you haven't noticed the black bar in front of them. I go for the Rock Slide on the Noctowl, take that out. So Kecleon picking up quite a bit of kills, as I like to happen. He goes out into Ninetales. I get poisoned. He takes the rock damage. This thing is trapped. I go for the Psyshock, does 52%. He goes for the Dark Pulse, does not do enough. And I believe I just go for another Psyshock to take this out. This is Scarf Gothitelle, if you couldn't tell. He goes out into Araquanid, and I go for Psyshock, does a decent amount of damage. He goes for Lunge and takes out Gothitelle, which is fine. I didn't really have much left for it. After this, I believe I go out into Landorus, and I hit it with a Rock Slide. I use Rock Slide mainly for accuracy. Takes up the Araquanid. All he has left is his Electros, and I just decide to switch out into my Manectric. He goes for the Rock Slide. Does not do much, but a lot of my Pokemon are now poisoned. Manectric Mega Evolves. I go for Signal Beam. Does not do much. He goes for Rock Slide. Does 20%. He's now at -1. I believe I switch out here again. Yep, I Volt switch out. Back into Landorus to weaken this thing even more. And he goes for the Giga Drain, which did quite a lot. I didn't expect it to go for Giga Drain. I go for the Rock Slide, bring it down. He goes for the Flamethrower. It takes out Landorus, which is fine. And then I believe I go into Shaman and just click Seed Flare, and this thing goes down. So that was the Week 2 match. We won 3-0, so we won the first 2 matches. Week 3, like I said, was an auto forfeit. So going into Week 4, I was 3-0 with my win-loss ratio. So let's go right into the Week 4 match right here against John and the Texas Scizors. He brought a team of Genesect, Conkeldurr, Umbreon, Mega Blastoise, Tyranitar, and I know its name, Tornadus Therian. And I decided to bring Volcanion, because Volcanion kind of destroys his team. Gothitelle, because Gothitelle can trap the Ferrothorn that he has, but did not bring. Can also trap the Umbreon and trigger Choice Scarf onto it, so it can't do its, what it normally does. Landorus is actually a Rock Polish set for this one. I just did this battle. The other battle I did 2 weeks ago, but could not upload it at the time. Mega Manectric with its standard set. Kecleon with Thunder Punch, Fire Punch, Brick Break, and Stealth Rock with the Expert Belt, so it's going to do a whole lot of damage. And Dragonium Z, Kyurem with Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse, Flash Cannon, and Ice Beam. So I'm going to click play, and we'll get right into this. I lead off with the Manectric, he leads off with Tyranitar. I Mega Evolve right away and Volt Switch out into my Kecleon. And he probably thought that Landorus is going to come in because he goes for Ice Beam, so he's prepped for that pretty well. So, and he switches out Tyranitar into Conkeldurr as I go for the Brick Break. I think he was expecting a, I don't know what he was expecting, probably a Stealth Rock, try to get some momentum. I wasn't going to stand against that. I go into Landorus. He goes for the knockoff. Knocks off my Citrus Berry, which is unfortunate because I kind of wanted that. I go for the U-turn and switch into Gothitelle, and this turn, I was so mad. When I was doing this battle, I got so mad. He goes for Ice Punch and gets the freeze, and I was super ticked off. I was super teed off. Like, you have no idea. And I just... The Sandstorm takes an effect. I'm still frozen solid. I'm super ticked. I live on 3%. And I actually unfreeze, which is alright. I go for the Psychic, but it does not take it out. So the knockoff finishes off Gothitelle. So Gothitelle's down. I go out into my Electric, click the Volt switch to finish this thing off. And I believe I go out into Volcanion. That freeze though. I'm not staying in. Stone Edge kills. I go out into Manectric. He goes for the Stone Edge, and I live due to the -1. I go for the Volt Switch, get some momentum, and I believe I go right out into Kecleon here. He goes for the Stone Edge, leaves me on 14%. And right here, I do make a pretty good prediction. He switches out into Tornadus, predicting the Brick Break. I go for Thunder Punch and bring it down really low. And Sandstorm brings us down to 1%. And so this thing is now Death Fodder. I'm not leaving it in. He switches out into Tyranitar, predicting my Volcanion switch in. Good on his part. That was pretty ballsy. I go out into Landorus. He goes for the Stone Edge. Does 40%. I go for Earthquake. Now, I did the calc. With max attack, max speed, Tyranitar. And Earthquake 100% KO. Did like 120%. This, however, has a lot of HP investment because it lives that on 7%. And I was super ticked at that, too. And Ice Beam does unfortunately take out the Landorus, which is alright. I almost rock polished there, and I'm really glad I didn't. I go out into my Electric, just click Thunderbolt, take this thing out. Tyranitar is now gone. He sends out Umbreon, and I was just like, I might as well see how much this does. That does nothing. It's fully specially defensive, and he uses Curse. So he's +1 in attack and defense and -1 in speed. I Volt Switch out, I believe, into my Kyurem, and he goes for another Curse, so he's going to get a little bit more leftovers recovery here. Now, he probably expected me to go for Toxic, but I go for the Dragonium Z Draco Meteor. It does 53%, quite a bit. And he went for Heal Bell, so he probably expected me to go for Toxic, or he misclicked. I used Draco Meteor just to finish it off. I didn't think Dragon Pulse would KO. He goes out into Genesect. I switch out and sack off Kecleon. Now, I was thinking that, like, this was like your average Genesect deck. I did not expect this to be a Scarf Genesect set, which it was. So my Electric goes down. I go out into Volcanion and go for Fire Blast. He goes into Blastoise, takes it relatively well. And hold up. I knew right here that 2 HP Electrics from my Volcanion would take this out, unless it was like max Spadef. But watch this bull. Like, this is just bull. He gets a flinch, goes for it again. He gets a flinch, goes for it again, gets a crit. I just lost due to hacks. Because the 2 Aura Spheres take me out, and Dragon Pulse just won't do it. I lost because of hacks. And I'm kind of ticked off. I was going to be 4-0, but now I'm 3-1. Later tonight, actually breaking the 4th wall, I'll be doing my Week 5 match a little bit early. So, but that's the match there. Your Minnesota Lycanrocs are now 3-1. Can't wait to see how the rest of the season goes. But yeah, I unfortunately lost. So let's hope that for Week 5 I can pull a W. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like if you enjoyed the content, and take care.